The fire burn brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the fourth time.
"2023 is winding down, but the WNBL continues to heat up as round 9 continues in Melbourne. The Boomers have had their struggles as of late without their star point guard, but Jordan Canada is back in the lineup for this big one against the Bendigo Spirit, who have travelled down the highway to the Boombox, looking to steer their season back on track. My name is Liam Ellison. Joined alongside me this evening is Zoe Carr, over 150 games of WNBL experience. Zoe, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and pumped to watch some excellent WNBL action.
This one is going to be terrific. The last time out that these two met at this very venue earlier in the season, it was a 2-point ball game as the Boomers came away with it. But they have a huge inclusion, of course, this evening. Jordan Canada back after a 3-game absence.
Yeah, a massive in for the Boomers, not just from an offensive perspective in her scoring. You know, she's the leading scorer of the Boomers, but she also facilitates. She's averaging 8.6 assists per game. And what she's able to create by getting feet in the paint, finding open players, but also drawing defenders. And if she does miss her shots, you've got Blitzarves, you've got Froling, you've got Davidson streaming in and cleaning up the glass, which has put them first in the league in average rebounds per game.
She has been outstanding. One of the MVP candidates for sure, Jordan Canada. Here's your Boomer stat leaders this season. And Keely Froling leading that rebounding unit that you highlighted, Zoe.
Yeah, and it's such a big part of it, especially on the offensive end, creating extra possessions and being able to, you know, have second, third and fourth opportunities allows them to then control the tempo of the game and control possession.
Well, the Spirit have lost their last two on the flip side, but Kelsey Griffin has been in some form, as she always is, Zoe.
Always. There is none more reliable than Kelsey Griffin. She's been huge, a huge inclusion, but she does need some to come with her and be able to share some of that scoring load, because a lot of attention's going to go to her from a scout perspective, so others need to be able to step up and take the reins a little bit, take the pressure off her.
She is one of the all-time greats, Kelsey Griffin, no doubt about that. They've lost their last two, the Spirit, looking to end that skid here this evening. First game of your Saturday night doubleheader, the matinee, and this is how it stands coming into it. The Boomers in third, Zoe, and the Spirit in sixth.
Yeah, and it looks like a massive discrepancy. You know, you see the top end of the ladders on 8 and 7s and the bottom ends on 3s and 2s, but the score differential in those games have been so minute. There's been so many 2, 3, 4-point games, so that could change at any stage, and it's a real credit to what the league is, that anybody can beat anyone on any given night.
Yeah, well put. As we saw the last time these two met, and let's have a look at how the Boomers will line up. Coming into this evening, they had 3 players that were in doubt. All of them are up to play. Of course, Jordan Canada, but also Rochi and Sarah Blitzarves.
Yeah, and like I said, a massive confidence boost. Sarah Blitzarves, the things that she can do, the versatility that she brings to the group, being able to be too big for guards and too quick and too agile for bigs, makes her an absolute nightmare matchup, so she's a huge inclusion. Mon
Conti as well into the starting lineup, so potentially a big evening for Conti. Let's look at the Spirit and how they will come into this one, and Abby Werung, Zoe, will come off the bench.
Yeah, a bit of a change-up. My suspicion would be to be able to take some ball handling pressure off of Allie Wilson and get her to be a little bit more of a scoring threat, and to be able to be what I was saying for Kelsey, to take some pressure off of her, and then be able to bring Abby Werung off the bench and be able to add that defensive pressure that she's just renowned for, and be able to climb in that second wave, in that second unit.
Suspect we'll see plenty of minutes from Abby Werung regardless throughout. So Conti, along with Canada, of course, back into the lineup. And as we mentioned, 1 and 2 in the 3 games that she missed were the Boomers. They had a couple of really disappointing losses in a row before they turned it around. Just on the eve of Christmas, it was a 20-point victory over the Townsville Fire, albeit no Whitcomb or Koenig, but that was a lifter.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only play who's on the floor in front of you. And I do think that the Boomers, as well as Sydney, are both at the moment finding their straps right now. They've hit their peak, or starting to hit their peak right at the right time. So the Spirit tonight are going to have to make sure that they don't allow any runs. Boomers can score so quickly and they score in bunches, so they're going to have to manage those runs.
Aren't they? The top 5 is tight, so this is a must-win, really, for both sides. Here we go, tip-off underway in the Spirit with first possession. Here's Kelsey Griffin at the top. Blitzarves defending the wing. Now Griffin in the post. 8 seconds, hook shot, up and in for the Bendigo Spirit's first points.
And it's a great first look. Obviously, Griffin is always going to be a focal point for the Spirit, but to be able to get high percentage, close to the basket, early touch is great, a great confidence boost for the Spirit.
Canada around a pick, steps back for the mid-range two, and Hillman on the O-glass.
And that's the shot you want to force her into, but you've got to end the possession. Otherwise, second and third opportunities for Boomers, it'll be a long night.
Now, of course, first in the league in rebounding, Melbourne Boomers. Griffin combining with Wilson on the handoff. Ruth Davis. Kelly Wilson defended by Conti. Aaron Crocker down low, doubled by Canada. Conti did well to get there to KG 23, and they've got to get the shot away, Bendigo. Canada with a defense.
Boomers in general with their defense there, that was a great defensive possession for them. They look to double the post. There's obviously an emphasis to try and go in early to Ruth Davis there, but the trap came and then their rotations out of it really clean and crisp. So if they can keep that up all game, it's going to mean, you know, those opportunities, whilst they turned it over, trying to push the ball, they're the sort of turnovers you're okay with, trying to put heat on the rim early.
Crocker in the post. Looked out to Wilson, who pulls the trigger. And Blitzarves there. Canada. Pops out to Froling. Now Blitzarves around the pick. Froling's got a mid-range J and rattles out, but Hillman out of nowhere on the O-glass finds Froling with the cut. Boomer's first bucket.
Again, ending possessions is going to be crucial for both teams, as always the case, but definitely for the Spirit. You cannot give Boomers second, third opportunities.
No, you cannot. Wilson. And Canada nearly had the steal. Nice touch, Melbourne.
She's already had an impact in this game. You know, she's had a few weeks or a few games out, and you wouldn't know it. She's defensively all over the place, you know, trapping, rotating, getting deflections. You know, you wouldn't know that she's just come off a concussion protocol.
You would not. Just a stellar defender, Canada, as she hits the deck. Ali Wilson will let it fly. Conti's there to move it forward. Canada hesitating. Now Conti will call the shots. Deep triple as Conti's pulled the trigger. Hillman just steps into the front court. Timely. Conti now will go again with 8 seconds, straight to the cup for two.
Great take by Conti, being able to just attack the armpit of Davis there and really force her to either step out of the way or foul and be able to get that easy layup.
Some great form on Conti as Griffin, no good that time. Froling, head of the plate of Blitzarves. Baseline drive closed off. Hillman going to step out of range and makes it. 7-2 start the Boomers.
And a lot of the offensive, I guess, attacking from the Boomers right now is coming from their defense. They are suffocating the Spirit right now inside the paint and forcing everything to be contested and outside of the key. And then they're running on that. So, you know, the Spirit really need to try and get some high percentage. They've gone inside now to Griffin. High percentage look. But again, they've ended the possession, whereas at the other end, the Spirit are not doing that.
Blitzarves, straight away drive and the whistle. Blitzarves will head to the strike. Such a tough matchup each and every night.
Yeah, like I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, she is a nightmare matchup in this league. She is too big for guards. She's able to get inside and use her strength and use her length to be able to get over the top like you just saw then. But if you try and match up bigger on her, she's able to bring them out, shoot the three, or attack them off the dribble. So she's really difficult, a really difficult scout matchup.
13-5 a night this season. And the Boomers have 9 quick points here at the boombox. They are the worst first quarter team, believe it or not, in the league, the Melbourne Boomers. 17 points in the quarter, but they've had a great start here so far. Inside to Froling. Battling there with Keeley, and again, Melbourne have cleaned up the glass. Canada, nice find ahead. Blitzarves at the end of it, and a foul call first.
That's a good high percentage look from Froling in there, looking to get feet deep in the paint and a post move one-on-one. You'd take that any day of the week. Okay, it didn't go in, but I think it's a focus that the Spirit need to stay with until they can start and string some scores together.
Absolutely, you take that every day of the week. So Bendigo trailing by 7. Wilson. Hand off to Griffin. Here's Crocker. Nice find. Wilson with the cut. Can't make it. Conti came across to help. And Canada somehow kept it in bounds.
Again, another great look for the Spirit. Didn't quite come off, but they're the scores they've got to continue to seek.
Carving away to the cup as Canada. It'll stay Boomers' ball. Quick hands down on the opposite baseline. Here it is again. Nothing gets away from Jordan Canada. Inbounds to Blitzarves. She can pull up from the baseline. Fresh 14 Melbourne. Conti happy to pull the trigger. Just strong. Wilson assessing ahead. Crocker equally. A great assessment. Wilson no good, and Froling on the follow. Cuts the margin back to 5.
You just get the feeling that the Spirit, once they start to settle into this game a little bit and those high percentage looks start to drop a little bit more consistently, then it's going to start to even out this game.
Poked out that time by Griffin. As they try and find their feet in this one. The Spirit. Quick hands cutting off that entry pass. Froling into Hillman. Now it's Canada who will reset. Froling, no good on the 3, and Conti with a hustle. Great start to this one from her.
That is their 6th offensive board for the game, and we're only halfway through the quarter. Spirit have to address that.
They do. That is a huge number at such an early juncture. Griffin with the deep 3. Boomers controlling things here in Parkville. 5.5 gone on the first. Canada, 2-man game with Froling. Trying to go to work in the post as Werung looks to double. Now calls on Griffin. So Werung, as you would expect, inserted pretty early off the bench.
Yeah, she's going to have the job on Canada, I would say, and try and stem her influence on the game as best she can. You know, you're never going to stop a player like Jordan Canada, but
No.
if you can make it difficult for her, that's going to go a long way to helping the Spirit in this game.
Hillman again on the O-glass, and that time with some quick hands, the Spirit win it back. They continue to mount up on the O-glass as Crocker puts it on the deck. Extra to come at the line for Crocker.
That's a great take there by Samuels, drawing the defense out and then looking to attack hard and drawing the contact and being able to finish. And now we're starting to see a little bit more, I guess, settle from the Spirit. Probably 2 minutes ago that probably misses, but now they're starting to settle. They're starting to see the ball go through the net a couple of times. Hopefully now that'll start to translate into some easier points for them.
Samuels makes in the continuation. To a 2-point ball game. Boomers into the front court. And now Tara Reid out there. Hillman in the post. 7 seconds. Boomers looking a little stagnant. Hillman with the pick. Canada will pull up from the elbow.
Again, a tough shot. Werung did a great job of getting over that screen. Probably just needs a little bit more presence from the screener's defender to be able to carry a hand to that. But again, if you step out too far, she's going to find the roller.
Just late there to close off Alicia Froling's look, and she'll head to the line. Jordan Canada all class to open this one. After missing the last 3 games. Froling's already up to 4 rebounds as well.
She's been huge for the Spirit this season, coming off the bench and really driving that inside presence for them in that second unit. You know, she's running the floor well. She's finishing. You know, it's been a real, it's been great to see her impact on the league.
It's been terrific. Of course, the sister matchup here this evening. Nice pass inside and the finish from Blitzarves. Reed combining. Boomers' offense continues to tick over. Casey Samuels. Hand off Werung. Rolling at the perimeter. Rocker will let it fly just short. Gilman's there. Canada probing. Gilman again. Bottles out that time. Froling working hard. Whipped out Blitzarves and the Boomers can go again. 4-point leaders here. Gilman provides the pick. Canada not that time for the mid-range. Crocker ahead of the play. And now it's Samuels who drains the three.
That's been such a big part of her game this season, just coming in and sticking threes right when it's needed. You know, being able to kick the ball ahead and finish that. It's huge in transition because now that means that she has to be found earlier or dragged out or closed out to longer, which allows driving opportunities.
Nice find to Froling, looking to return fire. Won't go, and Crocker, a 2-on-1 situation for the Spirit. Wilson, extra pass, Froling, and the Spirit have the lead. Nice run here from the Spirit. 10 of their points coming off the bench so far. Reed. Now it's Hillman, and Froling has combined with Keeley.
Bit of sister-on-sister crime.
Absolutely. So the whistle has been adjudicated, and here's that Spirit passing. One more time. Samuels, Wilson, and Alicia Froling combining. It's the first personal on Keeley Froling. Oh, excuse me, Alicia. Here's Keeley at the inbounds. Fresh 14, Melbourne. Jordan Canada puts it on the deck, goes right out Werung.
That is such a tough finish and tough to defend as you've got the inbounder streaming off that double pick on the weak side. It means there's nobody there to help.
Foul call on Rochi. Alicia Froling will head back to the stripe. There's that tough finish off the glass again from Canada. Playing like she hasn't missed a beat. And in comes Panina Davidson. The Boomers' fan favourite here at the Boombox.
And we talk about those offensive rebounds and making sure they take care of those, especially now. It's a Davidson special to get on the glass and get those cheap and easy points.
Don't get shorter, do they?
No.
So Froling at the line. Just off on the first, but her numbers on screen highlighting the impact that she has had off the pine this season. And can't tie it up for Bendigo. 90 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Ahead to Reed, right at Samuels. And the call. Reed with 2 free throws.
That's a great take there. Just a little bit late from Samuels getting across, and well read to be able to know that she was going to be late and get herself to the line.
There's back-to-back trips at the stripe. Speaking of great pieces off the bench, Tara Reid has been that for the Boomers.
Again, another versatile, long, athletic player that can just do a bit of everything, you know, and it makes it so difficult to be able to manage that from a defensive perspective.
Battling in there with Samuels and a jump ball. Possession arrow looks to favour the Boomers. Davidson as well in there, the hustle rewarded. Canada will take her first break. Sideline ball for Reed. Into Conti. Will set the action with Penina. Davidson rolls to the bucket and miscommunicating with Keely Froling. Bendigo win it back. Very tight here early at the boombox. Wilson off the dribble inside, and Froling again has been fouled.
And again, you're seeing the benefit of coming in and sticking that transition three. Now they have to close out long. She's able to up fake, put the ball to the floor, draw defenders, and then Froling gets to just sit in that dunker's spot and get the easy two.
A great impact so far early on as Casey Samuels, 6 points and a dime as Froling missing on the free throw. Bendigo have retaken the lead. Reed. Cross-court pass, Conti. Now it's Rochi down low. Davidson's there. Wrestling with McGoldrick. Jump ball. This time it'll favour the Spirit. Ellie Wilson hit the deck moments ago as well. Looks to be okay. 54 seconds remaining in the first. Rochi. Three-court pressure on Wilson. McGoldrick. Waiting the handoff of Werrung. McGoldrick will let it fly from three and no good. Reed attacking this Bendigo defense, but Wilson has come up with a steal. Has Samuels out there for three, and she lets it fly, rattles out. And Davidson to clean it up. Trail by one here. Shot clock has gone dark. Boomers can take the lead into the quarter time break. Conti probing. Rochi moves it onwards now down low. Davidson, 5 seconds. Battling in the post and gets the call. One to come at the line for Penina.
And that is just composed basketball. Sometimes when you've got the last possession of a game or of a quarter or the clock's running down, you can tend to rush a little bit. Conti came off the doubles, kicked the ball, down to the wing, inside presence, and then just a 1v1 post game. That's exactly what you'd be looking for. High percentage on the rim and obviously to the rim. But the issue is here now for the Spirit is I think that's 2 now on Alicia Froling, and so she'll have to sit for a little bit, and as soon as she comes back in, that's going to be the focus for the Boomers to go after her, try and get her to pick up her third.
3 seconds for the Spirit to work with, and we'll let it fly from three. Just short. It will be the Boomers here with a 2-point lead. 18 plays 16 at the boombox. It's been a fun first quarter. Stick around. Second quarter not far away.
Looking for your pathway in basketball? She Hoops Leadership and Confidence Scholarship can help. We're offering 30 girls from around Australia the opportunity to develop as coaches, players and officials, with mentoring from some of Australia's best basketballers and some of Australia's best coaches in breaking down barriers. If you're a girl aged 15 to 18, then this is for you. This 5-month program will accelerate your development both on and off the court. Interested? Head to shehoops.com.au to apply.
2-point game here at the boombox. Melbourne with the lead and Gayleen McKay honoured at the quarter-time break for the Boomers' 40th year anniversary. Another star of their program and of the league honoured here, Zoe.
Yeah, she has been an absolute stalwart of this organisation in this club, the Bulleen Boomers originally and now the Melbourne Boomers. She was a physio when I was playing there, and she just gives up so much of her time and basically bleeds purple and yellow now. So it's great to see her honoured, and a wonderful initiative that being held by the Boomers.
First player to reach over 300 games of WNBL hoops as well, Gayleen. Played between 1981 and 97, some career. And the Boomers, modern-day team, meanwhile, in an okay position here. They got out to a really quick start, but I thought Bendigo worked their way back into it.
Yeah, they did. So, I sound like a broken record, but in the, with 4:43 to go, they'd already given up 6 offensive boards. They finished the quarter, the Spirit, they finished the quarter with 8. So, you saw that being able to end those possessions allowed them to be able to run, try and get early finishes, but the Spirit are also shooting 1 from 8 from the three-point line. So going back into those high percentage shots until the 3 or the perimeter shots start dropping a little bit more consistently, we'll see the difference, I think, for the Spirit.
Reed kept it inbounds to Canada. Davidson for 3, and it goes down. First points of the second for Penina Davidson. Nice start for the Boomers. Griffin looks to return fire and does.
Right back at you.
Right back at you.
I think KG probably heard me say go high percentage, in the paint shots and went, no, Zoe, I'm shooting a 3. But no, I think it's great to see these versatile sort of bigger players being able to step out and shoot the 3. And any young athletes watching, that is something that needs to be a part of your game no matter what size you are.
Yep, it is the modern game. Heilman spinning down low and quick hands from Griffin. Poked out to Wilson. She can slow it up for Bendigo. KG 23 had 33 points last time these two met this very venue. Single-digit shot clock for Samuels. Davidson switching onto the rock. Wilson inside. Davis spins out of trouble. Count it. Oh, excuse me. Too long in the key.
It's unlucky, but the rule is there. It's going to be I guess a long game if every one of those is going to get called. But it is a bit of a lesson to the Spirit. It's a good look and something they need to look at the moment, particularly whilst the Boomers haven't gone small. Their bigs are smaller than normal. So, try and pump the ball inside if they can. They've got to try and get it there quicker.
Down low, Davidson. One possession ball game. Stepping back through, and Davis did just enough. Griffin. And a foul call on Amy Rochi. Second personal, somewhat ill-advised. In the backcourt, Blitzarms will come in. Reed to take a break. Spirit with 14 bench points as well in the first quarter. To the Boomers 6. Largely thanks to Alicia Froling, who is currently sitting with 2 personals. She was a presence in the first, to say the least. Griffin. Wilson, entry pass was good inside to Davis. Going to work on Davidson. Second chance, no good. Melbourne see it off. Canada working on Werung. Await some assistance from Penina. Now kick out Rochi. Nearly went in off the window. And a whistle on the rebounding contest. And go against Nars Heilman. Oh. Or will it? Griffin can't believe it. We'll get a good look at it here. It looked to be wrapped up. So Boomers basketball. Fresh 14 into Blitzarms. Canada. Try to combine with Davidson. Not that time.
That's a great look and the area that she needs to get to, but KG did an outstanding job of tagging that roller there. So she jumped off her who she was defending, and bumped Davidson as she was trying to get to the rim, which held her up, which meant the ball then went out of bounds. So outstanding tag from her there.
Wilson. Over to Crocker, who lets it fly. Just short. Long rebound favoured Ruth Davis. Provides the screen for Wilson. And then rolling to the bucket is Davis, and one.
And a great look again. You know, the spacing from the Spirit there really drew the Boomers out, which allowed Davis just to roll on the rim. They had to switch that on ball. So now you've got Mouse in the house. And she did a great job of just keeping it high, taking that contact, and then finishing. But I think that might be Rochi's third foul. So again, she'll have to sit for a little bit as well. And hopefully, you know, she's able to manage that throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, first player to 3 personals is Rochi. Conti's got a couple as well for the Boomers. Falling on the perimeter with Canada. Fitzarves was cutting off ball. Here's Hillman. Defending the handoff that time was Werung as Crocker has poked at it. Quick hands. Speaking of, Canada has all the answers. And now Blitzarves will pull the trigger. Wilson able to win it for Bendigo. Chaotic few moments. Tied up here early in the second quarter. Bendigo a chance to take the lead here. Davis has been doing work in the post. This time it's Froling with the defensive assignment. Blitzarves comes into double. Diving on it is Griffin. Crocker, good assessment, extra pass. Werung for 3. And the Boomers will see it off with Canada. She will go right at the Bendigo Spirit and earn them at the free-throw line.
Yeah, that's a tough one, defending Canada as she's just coming downhill at you in transition. I think Wilson probably did enough. I think, you know, as soon as she dropped her hands, though, that foul was always going to be there and be called. So if she just walls up and forces her to make those finishes, those tough finishes, which we know she can make, but if you make the as difficult as possible for the length of the game, as you get towards the end of the game, maybe those don't drop like they do in the first half. So, you know, save your fouls and not allow her to the line and make everything as difficult as possible.
Just off on the first. Both sides are struggling a little bit from the stripe as well. Shooting 50% or under. Canada good on the seconds. A lot of lead changes so far in this game, Zoe.
I think it might be the story of the game too. I think this one's going to come down to the wire. If they can manage to, if Boomers can continue to defend the way they have been and really suffocate the inside of the paint, and the Spirit are able to end the possessions and only allow the Boomers to one shot per possession, then we'll probably see this arm wrestle for the rest of the game.
I think that might be a good assessment. It has been that so far. Alicia Froling back out there. Battling with Keeley. Wilson inside to the cutting Samuels.
It's a beautiful slip, great down screen, and then obviously the IQ of Kelly Wilson to be looking at the person coming off the screen, but knowing that the slipper is open and being able to find them.
Canada penetrating, kick out. Conti in the corner. Yet another lead change. The Spirit now slingshotting forward. Wilson running point. Crocker. Lost Conti momentarily. Kelly Wilson from mid-range won't go. Froling just probing there on Samuels. Opts to kick it out. Blitzarves driving out Alicia Froling with the 2 personals. Hillman yet another offensive rebounds.
And that's well defended by Froling, especially whilst in a little bit of foul trouble, but then it's got to be gathered up by the next rotation. But outstanding work from Boomers again to just clean up the glass and now get all over it and cause the turnover.
Blitzarves. Hand it over to Conti. Froling will step out for 3, that's short. Boomers out to a 4-point lead. Hillman bringing up their 10th offensive rebounds moments ago. 5.5 gone, second quarter. Wilson Conti's there as Wilson in the keyway, good for two.
Trademark Kelly Wilson, spinning, couple of dribbles, spinning back, fade away, pull-up jumper. We've been seeing that for how many seasons now that she's been in the league? So, again, it's great to see her actually look to be a scoring threat.
Deflected out to Hillman. Nice defense from Froling. And Ali Wilson, likewise, has won it for Bendigo. Timeout on the floor. This one brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL. Australian-owned and designed, Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks, and other leading retailers. Visit cygnett.com. Our major partners, 2-point ball game, the Boomers with the lead, and they have a very special guest in the crowd as well, Zoe. Ezzy Magmagor back in town for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just an absolute superstar of Australian basketball, and obviously the Opals and an ex-Melbourne Boomer. So great to see her here courtside supporting the league.
Isn't it? Of course, a couple of weeks off. She's currently playing in Czech Republic, and they sit undefeated at the moment. They're 11-0, and they've won every championship her side since 2010. So she's joined the team with a bit of pedigree over in Europe.
And the pressure's on. She's got to make sure that, because you know the old saying that if it doesn't work out, it's the import's fault. So she needs to make sure that she holds that up, and I'm sure she will. She's an outstanding player, outstanding person. So it is always great to have her back here. I wish she was playing in the league, but amazing to see what she's achieving overseas.
It is terrific, isn't it? And a pretty nice break, really, all things considered.
Big break.
Get back home.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good to see Ezzy here in town. 2-point game at the Boombox. 4 minutes remaining here. Crocker out there alongside Ali Wilson. We are back underway. Werung. Rolling with a handoff, Wilson. Inside the keyway, nice find. Froling's got double figures.
And we talk about, you know, the young athletes at home, what they're watching, male or female, playing off 2 feet, getting deep into that paint, not panicking, and just finding someone slash into the basket. It's a massive part of the modern game.
As Canada finds a teammate on the perimeter for 3.
Again, we spoke about it before. You know, Blitzarves is just an absolute nightmare. She can shoot the 3, she can do it all. So it's, I think we'll start to see a little bit more influence from her for the rest of this quarter.
Score from anywhere, Sarah Blitzarves. Speaking of, Ali Wilson stepping through on Conti and travel. What a good job looking after the basketball so far, Bendigo. Just their 4th turnover. Conti. Boomers on the flip side have registered 9. Oh, and there's another. Quick hands. Crocker straight to the cup.
Did a great job of keeping that out in front and finishing high off the backboard. So even if, you know, Blitzarves wanted to try and contend that, she was likely going to foul.
Blitzarves. Switching onto the ball is Alicia Froling. Conti gets around Wilson. Hillman's there, and great block again from Crocker. Having her influence defensively. Back to Samuels. Penetrating straight down the middle. Melbourne have done just enough to slow them up. Samuels with 8 seconds. Down low, it's Froling battling on Keeley. And they have the stop, the Boomers. Canada kick out. Blitzarves hit one from that very spot moments ago. Wilson gambled for the steal. Conti, nice find. Froling, mid-range J.
Great work off that pick and roll play there, and just the poise from Conti. What an outstanding athlete she is. You know, being able to do what she does in another code of AFLW, and then to be able to step into here and have the influence she does. She's just an amazing athlete.
It is remarkable. A year-round athlete, really. Never has a break. There's Canada combining nicely with Blitzarves. Can't convert that time, but Hillman just muscles down and puts it up for 2.
That's her 6th offensive board. So it's I sound like a broken record, but they've got to get that under control, because otherwise her score, that's going to influence what she puts on the board for them.
It's been that way because she's done it over and over again. Hillman having her say as Wilson, not that time. Trying to get it to Ali Wilson was Crocker, too much on it. 1:08 remaining in the first half. Samuels will take a break alongside Ali Wilson. Five-point lead is the Boomers. Biggest lead in this game, 7. Conti running point. Canada working hard to get open. Drives around Werong and the fadeaway floater, if you don't mind, for Jordan Canada.
The 1 foot floater, and it looks like nothing, and she's already back ready to play D and into the next possession. It is great to have somebody of that caliber in our league. She's just phenomenal to watch.
Isn't she? Falling out of bounds, never off balance. Canada has 7 and 3 assists, and this time out is brought to you by CTM Sport. Here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge at ctmsport.com.au. And, of course, plenty of junior tournaments around the country over the coming months. So CTM Sport could very well be your answer. 7-point ball game, equal biggest lead, Zoe. And the Boomers with 53 seconds out from the main break with the ascendancy.
Yeah, look, I think the Spirit have done okay defensively. I don't think it's as much of an issue from the defensive end. I think it's more that they've dried up offensively and that the scores aren't coming as easily as they once were. So they've got to get back to that feet in the paint play, looking for cutters, playing off the pick and roll, looking for divers, and really put pressure on the interior, put pressure on those players, and try and get back to the foul line as well. See the ball go through the net again, and then that'll help with, converting from the perimeter, because right now the Spirit are shooting at 15% from the three-point line. So, they need to make sure that they're, still clicking that, ticking the scoreboard over, because scoreboard pressure is another element to defense in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. A chance to do so here. And Canada swiped at it, put it out of bounds, and saved what would have been a certain bucket. Good vision from Kelly Wilson. 14 for Werong, and Crocker caught them napping.
Great screen there as well. Just a solid hit, and then a great cut and feed to be able to finish. And they're the easy points and those easy conversions that the Spirit need right now.
Conti, little Tara Reid. Canada looking hard around an off-ball screen. Now she can drive on Griffin. Reverse, wasn't even looking at the cup, and she's got the whistle. Jordan Canada is so shifty.
I think that might be Griffin's third foul, potentially.
Looks to be so.
Yeah, third foul, so that's huge. That's a really big, a great, I guess, thing for the Boomers, for Canada to be able to attack Griffin like that, pick up her third. Now the question coming out of half-time, do you start Griffin? Do you save her for a little bit? And those sort of things being such a big part of the Spirit. It's a massive blow for the Spirit, but huge for the Boomers.
It is, isn't it? On the second last possession, really, of the half. Not the best timing. Canada makes no mistake. So Froling is out there with 2 personals as well. Wilson, chance for the final look of the half. Werong at the free-throw line. And low as Froling, had to opt out. And there's 3 seconds to work with. Nice assessment inside. Froling just in time. 2 more on the board for the Spirit. 5-point ball game at the half, Zoe Carr.
The vision of Ali Wilson on that play, to be able to just not panic. There's 2 seconds on the clock, and just to be able to find, again, rolling to the rim and getting those high percentage finishes. That's what's working for the Spirit right now.
24 points in the paint in the first half for Bendigo. brings it back to a two-possession ball game at the main break. We thought it was going to be close coming into this one. It's lived up to the billing. Penina Davidson stepping out her range off the bench for the Melbourne Boomers. But speaking of bench points, the Spirit have 20.
Yeah, it's been huge for them and a really big asset to the game. As I think we spoke about it pre-game, about how the versatility of the Spirit and being able to bring these players off the bench is a real luxury for them. But make no mistake, the Boomers have that as well. You've seen the players being able to come off the bench and being able to contribute, and the way they're able to rotate, because every lineup has one or two bigs in it, whether they play big or not, and they're able to put that pressure and continue that defensive pressure.
Conti into the starting lineup, combining with Keely Froling, and Alicia on the flip side for the Bendigo Spirit has 12 points off the bench. And Hillman, isn't she doing work in the painted area? My goodness.
Hillman right now has 9 rebounds, 6 of them offensive. So it's not often that it skews that way, where the offensive rebounds are the ones that are outnumbering the defensive. And we spoke about it pre-game, we spoke about it during the game. That's got to be a focus for the Spirit in that second half, because right now that would be the difference.
You can see the team numbers as well. 12 of their 30 rebounds, the Boomers, have been offensive. Major stat columns, and the Spirit struggling a little bit from beyond the arc, despite having so many weapons from beyond the perimeter in their lineup.
Yeah, and normally they're shots that they would knock down. It's just one of those games right now. So you need to find ways to be able to bring that shot back into your game, but through time, through execution, and you've got to, again, keep that scoreboard pressure on. So get your layups, get your high percentage, get to the foul line, and just keep ticking that scoreboard over until it comes time to where the shots do eventually hit. Because the shooters on both teams right now, but the shooters on the Spirit, they will eventually start to drop. So they just need to be patient and, like I said, continue that scoreboard pressure through other ways.
Oh, Jordan Canada is back for the Boomers, and she has not missed a beat. 5-point ball game at the half. Stick around. Second half, not far away.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved, and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
There are things we can't see, like the air that we breathe. There's a power in me, you'll see.
He's done it!
For our homegrown superstars, this is the one that matters most. The Aussies are ready to unleash on 9 Summer of Awesome. Get ready for a new, heart-racing game changer. Woodbridge.
What is the longest river in South America?
The Amazon River?
Correct.
Pushes Australia's most addictive game show over the edge.
Wow. Let's go!
And in an all-new endgame.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk,
2 counters, $20,000. We'll also throw in a holiday.
the more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
Brand new Tipping Point Australia starts Monday, Jan 29 on 9.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Willoughby rips and drives left. Get back inside, count it.
Ball in the hands of Rochi. Wants an option inside. Froling against Nicholson. Back out to Conti for a deep three, and she makes it.
Wow, Mon Conti, huge.
They needed that.
Gives it off to McDonald.
Wow.
Finds a lane, finds a way through traffic.
George, what a pass. You could not have executed that better, Kayla George.
5 seconds to Koya. It'll be down to Melbourne again. What can she do this time? It's been some wizardry so far. Lets it fly. Oh my goodness. Jay Melbourne.
He's an absolute workhorse.
Alex Demonor. Australia's top hope.
Oh, what a shot.
He tries to get to every ball.
Demonor dazzles in Melbourne.
You overheated the generator.
Nice nightgown. Away.
Well, that smile might make all the girls at the church social swoon, but it's not going to work on me.
Well, I'm not gonna be polite. I'm not gonna show you where a fuse box is. Night.
This Manhattan Doctor's life is going south. Stream all episodes of Heart of Dixie on 9 Now.
For centuries, supernatural creatures have lived among us.
There are vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers, witches,
And even hybrids.
Go! There are friends,
Our enemies.
the ones we love.
And the ones we've lost. A lot of blood, a lot of partying.
But if you're going to die, it might as well be epic.
Sink your teeth into the drama. The Vampire Diaries.
Here we go.
Stream every episode on 9 Now.
I've got a staff meeting to go to, and so do you. You elitist Harvard fascist missed the dean's list 2 semesters in a row, Yankee jackass.
Stream The West Wing
Feel better getting that off your chest there, CJ?
I'm a whole new woman.
on 9 Now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
5-point ball game here at the Boombox. Melbourne with the lead over the Bendigo Spirit. Liam Ellison here and Zoe Carr with you on commentary throughout your Saturday night doubleheader. Ezzy Magbagor is in attendance here to see on her old team. And it's been an interesting game so far, Zoe.
Yeah, it's been, we mentioned, a bit of an arm wrestle, you know, no team being able to really break away and get that freedom that they need. But Boomers being able to sort of just get that handy little 5-point lead. They did a great job defensively, just really taking the pain away from the Spirit and then being able to convert at the other end and give themselves second and third opportunities through the offensive glass.
Keely Frolling's got 4 points and 6 boards so far in this ball game, and she featured in the round 8 team of the round over their doubleheader. She was terrific.
Yeah, I mean, look at the numbers of all of those players there. That's just outstanding. But the one for me is obviously Jade Melbourne. Being a country girl, it's close to my heart. But 31 points and 7 assists in a very young Canberra Capitals team, and what she's being able to do and the way she's maturing as a player and being able to run the show there, both as a facilitator but also as a big part of the scoring and the assist getting for that group. It's just been so great to watch her grow as a player, and it'll be interesting to see where she goes from here.
Hasn't she just been in some awesome form, Jade Melbourne, and got the Capitals rolling? They were close on Wednesday to making it 3 on the trot.
Yeah, and you just think if she didn't foul out towards the end of that game, what might have happened? But those are the breaks, and that's, again, a part of her growth is being able to manage that and make sure that she's not in that position again. That's
sport, isn't it? Let's look at our player of the half, Naz Hillman, who has been dominating, as we've mentioned, on the offensive glass, has 6 offensive rebounds, but this game in some ways it's been won and lost in the Kiwi so far.
Yeah, and again, it's also the little unstatables that she does, yes, there's offensive rebounds, and there's assists, and she's able to finish in close, but it's the way she's able to change shots. It's the way she's able to box out, take up space. But the big one for me is her ability. She's been able to push the Spirit bigs out of the paint. So they haven't been able to operate closer to the basket where they like to. And that's been massive because that's forced the Spirit into perimeter shots that they possibly don't want to take or aren't hitting at the moment.
Yeah, the 2 of 13 from 3, the Bendigo Spirit. So far, 2 of 24 points in the paint. Alicia Frolling's been terrific with 12 off the bench. Here we go, third quarter, kicking off at the boombox. And it's Bendigo basketball to start us off. Wilson around a screen. Kelsey Griffin is out there with 3 personals to start the second half. Posting up on Hillman. Deflected off Conti. Still got there to Wilson. 4 seconds. Crocker inside. Davis has got to let it fly. And short on the hook shot.
And again, great job by the Boomers there to push her further away from the basket. So instead of at the tip of the charge circle, she's now catching at the bottom of the main circle.
Not that time for Canada. It was terrific in the first half. And a turnover against Crocker.
And this is a danger quarter for the Spirit. They've throughout this season so far, the first and third quarters have not been their bread and butter. So they need to make sure that they're locked in here and get back to what was working for them at both ends of the floor, but definitely make sure they take care of the ball.
Canada flipped it back out to Blitzards, who pulls the trigger from 3. Boomers out to a game-high 8-point lead. Griffin. Hand off Kelly Wilson. Here's Kelly going to the rack.
So reliable. Just steadies the ship a little bit. If they didn't get a score there, then it'd probably start to get to a point where Coach Kerryama is going to have to think about a timeout, and you definitely don't want to have to burn one in the second half this early. So that's such a big finish from Kelly.
Certainly is. Gets it back to 6 as Conti tried to make it back-to-back threes for Melbourne. Crocker rips through Blitzarves. Ali Wilson assessing. Davis with the screen inside the arc. Rolling's there. Conti will slow it up for Melbourne. Blitzarves around Crocker. Hillman, extra pass. Keely Froling is open for 3.
That's great ball movement. Drawing the defender, finding the open player, giving up good for great, everything you want in an offense.
Great start from beyond the arc from Melbourne. Davis kicks back out. 3 is up and in. Crocker returns fire. Conti Rolling, posting up on Griffin. Hillman's on the perimeter. Ali Wilson right there in the grill of Canada. Rolling mid-range too.
And the Spirit are really going to need to do something about that big-to-big pin down. So Hillman setting a down screen for Froling, and Froling's coming off. She has that mid-range jumper, so you need to get there, but you can't sink off to Hillman inside the paint on that, because she'll stick that jumper. But if you don't, then it's going straight inside.
Short, and Canada, what a dime to Hillman. Sorry, Zoe.
No, that's a hell of a pass.
Sure is. Sets it up for the Boomers, and offensively, both sides have been humming here to start the second half. Crocker posting up on Canada. Got the size. Doesn't have the bucket.
And through their offense, that's a little more that I think the Spirit could probably try and do, and try and post Canada up a little bit more. Use their bigger guards to be able to put her inside and see if you can either pick up a couple of fouls or some easy scores.
Conti rattles out. And Bendigo, a chance to reset here, as Griffin and Davis hit the bench. Some trust shown from Kennedy Kerryama to put Griffin out there with the 3 personals.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but ultimately, if you sit her, she may as well be fouled out anyway. So you've got to roll the dice, especially when if you're going into the halftime break with a bit of a 12-point buffer, then you might sit her, but you're behind, so you can't afford to play that way.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. Crocker creates some space and drains it. Bendigo keeping the scorer's tally ticking over. Canada zigzagging, Euro stepping through. Hillman again on the O-glass. And walling up with the 2 Bendigo defenders. Keely Froling again for 3.
Again, starts and finishes on the O-glass. There was a great rebound from Hillman there, and being able to, safely get it out. Kick it to the extra player for an open 3. If Spirit make that one shot only and finish that possession, it's a different ball game.
What a find, Ali Wilson. And now she's on the follow. Tried to find Alicia Froling and did. From the corner, Ali Wilson makes the 3.
And finally, I think she says there, yeah. Finally. But outstanding effort, and just did not stop on that possession.
Wasn't it? The effort was rewarded. Winning it back for Bendigo. Hillman puts it on the deck, and tying it up is Crocker.
It's great work by Crocker then to be able to get in there and get hands on that, but it's also very dangerous because you've got blitzers on the strong side there, and if we're able to kick the ball out to the strong side shooter in blitzers outside the 3, that's a really tough closeout to get back to because you've got your back to her. So it's a bit of a dangerous one, but it paid off in that instance.
Rolling inbounds with 8 seconds. Blitzers, Melbourne have been hot from 3 to start the 3rd. Wilson. Wareham dumps it into the post. Froling going to work. 12 first half points and the whistle. 2 to come at the line. So Alicia Froling will earn them at the stripe halfway through the 3rd quarter.
And just a great job battling. They're those little unstatables there from Hillman, just, making it hard, pushing her out of the paint as much as possible, and then walling up and just getting that deflection.
Missing on the first. So Keely Froling was assessed with her 2nd personal. And Alicia is up to 13. High scoring opening to this second half. 26 points combined have been put on the board. And Bendigo are up in defense. Into Hillman. Uninfringed into the front court. Reed. Now once again in the hands of Canada. Blitzards rips and drives around Crocker. And that tough matchup once again a feature
Yeah, I mean, it was a great job by the Spirit to face guard Canada and take them out of their offense, but just absolute class from Blitzarves to be able to show that poise, get on the rim and finish.
Werung rewards Kelly Wilson and rewards the Spirit with 3. Back to a 4-point game. Canada turning the Jets on, tried to find Hillman. Turnover.
And that's a great look. The idea is right, you know, just slightly, the execution slightly not there. But again, that sort of pressure, those sort of turnovers, they're the ones that you'll take, because now that's got the Spirit thinking that they've got to, 1, find Canada so much earlier in transition, and 2, they have to get back as quick as possible. What that tends to do is take the pressure off the offensive glass.
Werung driving hard at the hoop. And then the whistle. That hurts. Werung's picked up just her first personal. Second team. Stops any fast break opportunity. And Werung with the assignment on Canada. 6 assists in the ball game for Canada. Blitzarves has been on fire. Nice pass. Reed has been fouled. Hillman with the find.
That was a great back cut too. You know, again, that spacing, being able to set them up with that high post catch and then back cut off it as quick as possible. It's a great look.
Shooting just under 70% from the free throw line this season. Started in 9 of their 11 games, Tara Reid. Off the bench this evening. Good on the first. And she goes 2 of 2. 6.5 gone, third quarter. Macy Samuels. Look out there off the bench. She's got 8 points. Ellie Wilson. Down the pick from Alicia Froling and lets it fly.
And the 3 ball's starting to drop now for the Spirit. Confidence is high. So now they become a bit harder to guard. So you might see a little bit of a spike in their defensive energy.
Reed, all clean, says the referee. Wilson directing traffic. Ellie Wilson's found Froling. Driving around Reed, nearly went down. So Froling's 3 of 7 from this spot so far in this ball game. The regression driving to the cup has been rewarded.
And it's a great look too, to be able to, you know, hit a couple of threes and then look to go inside and again go back to that high percentage. So it's great that she's rewarded herself with hitting her first free throw.
He makes no mistake. Putting together a nice game is Alicia Froling. Reed. Woman in the post. Battling on Froling, stepping through, good defense. Blitzarves tried to come over the top and Reed's there. Canada couldn't find the lane. Kick out, not quite. Hillman.
The influence that Abby Werung is having on Jordan Canada right now is huge. The extra length that she's got, even if she's slightly out of position, is Canada's sort of struggling with it a little bit at the moment. And I'm sure she'll figure it out, but Werung is doing an absolute job right now.
Froling with the and one. Ali Wilson, great thinking, great finds, and Froling is headed back to the free throw line. To your previous point, Zoe, spot on, and Jordan Canada has been curved a little bit with her first half influence, so crucial for Melbourne. And Bendigo, after Melbourne led by 9 at one stage, have retaken the lead.
Yeah, and look, again, she'll figure it out. She's a class player, and it won't be like this for the rest of the game. But a big part of why the Spirit are now in the lead is because of the job that Abby Werung has done on Canada.
Reed's picked up her dribble. Crocker right there. Werung Again with a job. Keely Froling. Nice find. Davidson straight away off the bench. And we are tied up here at the boombox. Wilson inside. Froling crushing the glass. Werung wide open. Just strong. Canada assessing out to Tara Reid. Some third quarter from Ali Wilson. Griffin's back out there. Crocker, top of the keyway, Jay. Bendigo have led by no more than 2 in this game. Canada with the rock. Rochi's out there. Kick out. Rochi open. And strong on that occasion. Less than a minute remains in the third quarter. Crocker. Now Werung. Bendigo needs some movement. Crocker's going to provide it, and the denial was a foul from Keely Froling. It's going to be number 3. Couldn't believe the call. Bendigo will head back to the free throw line. They've shot 58%. Crocker has 11 to her name. Unlucky on the first. Myself a good season so far, Merrin Crocker. One of those 3-point threats for Bendigo, and she makes on the second. Three-point lead is the spirit. Canada. Werung right there in her grill once again. And one of the difference points in this third quarter. Extra pass, Reid for 3.
And that's where it's tough, when you've got players just ready to feet set. You know, they did a great job getting the ball out of Canada's hands, but then you're in rotations and you have to just put up with the fact that someone's probably going to hit a 3 or 2.
Both sides have done just that this quarter. Bendigo have hit 4 threes in the period. Werung spinning in the lane and puts it up and in. Right on the buzzer. And it gives Bendigo the lead at three-quarter time, 62 plays 60. And this one continues to live up to the billing here at the Melbourne Sports Centre. The visitors with the lead, Zoe Carr.
Yeah, and again, I said it before, a lot of that came from Abby Werung's work on Jordan Canada. Nothing came easy to her in that quarter, so it helped them then stem it back, took Boomers out of their offense a little bit, but able to bring back the lead and then be able to take it for themselves. And then, as you saw, then the 3 started to drop, things start to become a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, Abby Werung was crucial in that period. And as were, of course, the 2 Froling sisters. It is always on the billing, isn't it? When these 2 come up against each other, it's fun. It's sister v sister rivalry, and they've been huge. Alicia's got 18 off the bench.
Yeah, massive. And you sort of think, you know, they're going to cancel each other out or they're going to know each other's game a little too well. Well, they're both putting big numbers both on the points but also on the boards. You know, they've had 11 and 10 apiece. So, you know, they're doing such a good job. And even Keely, it's great to see her when, again, what I was talking before about Canada's being sort of stemmed a little bit. Keely's bringing the ball up the floor every now and again. Both of them just do a little bit of everything, and they do it so well. What they do is they do the really basic stuff well, and it's huge. It's one of those things that everyone wants to do the flashy stuff, but they grind, they have bulk effort, and that's why they reap those rewards.
Yeah, it's well put. Certainly do grind. They've both got a double-double, hitting the glass en masse. And Melbourne still lead that one, 37-24 in the rebounding column. Offensive rebounding numbers again that quarter slowed up, so Another indicator and a reason why Bendigo able to wrestle back the lead after trailing by 9.
Yeah, definitely. And it's again, so Bendigo have been notorious of being not as good in the third quarter. They've been able to sort of shake that off in this game. Now they've got to put this quarter together, these two quarters together, and be able to continue it on if they want to make sure they get that win.
4 games played between these two at this venue. They're 2-2, the two sides. One of those losses for the Spirit was just by 2 points. So Bendigo have been a really tough out for Melbourne here at the Boombox. It's proven to be the case once again. Kelsey Griffin. Crocker. Feigned the 3. Now has 3 seconds for Ali Wilson. And she's got space to work with.
She's feeling it now. It's one of the worst things for the Boomers is a confident Ali Wilson, because the things she is able to do, not just be able to hit deep threes, but be able to finish, adaptive finish on the rim. And then with her vision, she becomes an absolute menace offensively.
Canada, 1 spin, 2 spin, won't go. Davidson, extra possession, Melbourne. Canada won't bite on the pump fake. Oh, and it went in anyway for Jordan Canada. Some finish.
That is tough. And again, that's, the first possession that Werung does a job, the Spirit have to lock that down and come up with it. Don't give her another possession at it.
Kelsey Griffin returns 5 for Bendigo. Reed. Wilson denying blitz-halves. Werung. Unsurprisingly starting the 4th here. Canada trying to create space from the mid-range. Froling tapped it out to the advantage of Reed. Crocker was there. And Ali Wilson will set the action. He's come out of the sheds with a vengeance, Ali Wilson. And dribbled out of bounds that time. 9 points, 5 dimes in the game. Now it is Keely Froling. Interesting juncture here for the Boomers, trailing by 6. Davidson hovering around there for the screen. Now she provides it on Werung and rolls to the hoop for 2.
That is outstanding pick and roll play from Canada there, and making it so difficult. Now the Spirit have to make sure that they rotate off of that to be able to tag, like we spoke about before, tag the roller before she gets the catch. So then it's not as simple as catch and layup.
Canada. And again, that's the 2-man game with Davidson. Canada wanting the whistle, won't get it. Got the numbers momentarily to Bendigo. Werung. Closed out by blitz-halves. Griffin short on the 3. Keely Froling in the post. Poked at it was Wilson. Can't make in the lay-in. Ball slingshotting back and forth at the moment, and Crocker for 3. Baseline possession. Boomers will have it, and Conti will replace Jordan Canada. Played 32 minutes, Jordan Canada. Barely hit the bench all game.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah. From memory, just a really short spell before half-time, and that's it. Welcome back indeed. Blitz-halves. Trying to chip away at that Bendigo lead, and there's 2 more back for the Boomers.
Spirit are going to have to take care of pick and roll play right now. Boomers are now just picking them apart, whether they get a little bit more aggressive, whether they look to either trap or switch aggressively. They need to make an adjustment though right now, because the Boomers, are just able to do whatever they want.
Rolling, battling with Davidson, gets the shot away and in. That was tough from Alicia Froling. She's got 20 points off the bench. Blitz-halves. Threw it at the feet of Davidson. It's come off Bendigo. Conti will have it.
Alicia Froling right now is a great example to all the young athletes out there that you know, there's a big obsession with starting games. I have to start games. She hasn't started this game, and she's playing starters minutes and having starters impact.
Oh, block from behind from Crocker. Hillman on the second chance. And Davidson able to clean it up. You're spot on, Zoe. Back to a 2-point game as the mop comes out. And Abby Werong is probably another example of the point you just made. There's that block again from Crocker. Werong's been huge off the bench today.
Massive, and you see Canada's out, so Werong's out. There's a sub for sub at the moment to make sure she's fresh for when inevitably Canada comes back into the game.
Leaves Conti and Wilson to handle point guard. 6 minutes remaining in this contest. Eerily similar to the last time these two met in round 3. Griffin fading away on the post. And Hillman's able to clean it up. Blitz arms ahead of the action. Inside the arc. Bendigo basketball. And a timeout on the floor. 2-point ball game. Bendigo remain in the lead here. 70 plays 68, and this timeout is brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops, the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Visit aussiehoops.basketball to register. And of course, Boomers fans have a chance over January to head on down to some of their clinics. 5 clinics, Zoe, happening from the 9th of Jan through to the 24th. There's 5 dates. If you can get on the Boomers website and on the WNBL website for more information, all held at the Boombox in Parkville. Designed for children aged 6 to 16 who love their basketball. Great job with the community engagement, as always, from the Boomers. And Bendigo, meanwhile, lead this one. Controlled things so far in the 4th, but Melbourne are never far away.
No, it'll be interesting to see if they change their defense for a possession coming out of this timeout with a spirit ball, whether Boomers come out in a different look, whether they go to a zone for a possession or maybe a press coming out of this, just to mix it up and keep the Spirit on their toes. And, you know, offensively, things have started to come a little easier for the Spirit, so you want to try and take them out of that as best as possible and not allow them to be comfortable, because as you've seen, when they're comfortable, you get Ellie Wilson threes from the car park.
Yeah, we sure do. Bendigo have got 7 second half threes. And we're back underway. Kelly Wilson. Conti right there hounding her. Werong and Canada back into the fold. Rollins posting up. I want to give Ali Wilson no real estate, no room to work with. She wants to make room herself. No call, says the ref. Canada. Boomers with a fast break opportunity. Conti in a world of space. Can't make on the 3 as Griffin does just enough.
It's very lucky for the Spirit. It's not often Conti would miss a shot that open and from the 3-point line.
No, it's not. Griffin. Werong. Entry pass. Alicia Froling. 2 more from the strike.
Froling is having to battle down there, and I feel like there's a bit of an easier way where anytime they've had an on-ball screen, the Boomers have switched it. And as Froling has dived on the rim, she's had Canada on her, and it's sort of been looked away or brushed away. On that dive, if they can kick it on, come out of the on-ball, kick it on, and get that angle to get her inside on Canada, it might just be a little bit easier for her to finish on the rim.
She's in the conversation. Alicia Froling for one of the players of the game. Undoubtedly. And good on the second. 3-point ball game. Conti running point. Canada in the corner at the moment. Here's Froling. Now the handoff. Single-digit shot clock. Froling will let it fly. In the hands of Ali Wilson. It's Kelly Wilson who will set the action. Werong down low. Griffin wide open. Good set from Bendigo.
Yeah, great ghost screen there from KG, being able to knowing what they're doing, looking to switch, and she's able to just dive out of it before setting the screen, leaving her wide open. And again, no tag off that split line. So beautiful work from the Spirit, something that the Boomers are going to have to address.
This timeout brought to you by the official WNBL app. It's finally here. We don't want you to miss a minute of the action over the summer. Live scores, highlights, all your player and team info to keep up with all things Cygnett WNBL. Make sure you download the free WNBL app today. It's out to a 5-point lead to Bendigo. Done just enough so far to protect it. 4:18 remaining. That's the equation, Zoe.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, though, that's still far too much time on the clock, and the Boomers are too good of an outfit to go into that negative, to try and just protect their lead. They can't. They have to continue to play, continue to try and put scoreboard pressure on, and obviously get stops at the other end if they want to win this game. So sometimes, you know, once you get a little bit of a lead, you can think, oh, we're just going to try and hold on to it. They're not at that stage yet. They've got to continue to push the ball, continue to look to get it inside. If they play off that pick and roll play, I think they'll be able to tick that scoreboard over. On the other side of that, though, Boomers have got to go back to their pick and roll play. They were so good out of it with blitzers in Canada, and they've kind of been pushed away from it. So they have to not allow the Spirit to push them away from the on-ball screen, go back to it, and look to work off the elbow from there.
Let's see what they can do out of this timeout. Canada and Werrung will do duel once again. Hillman. Rolling on the perimeter. Griffin harassing Conti. Canada will wait for a double screen. AG23 switches onto the ball. 4 seconds. Blitzards got to bail them out. It'll be Keely Froling who fades away for 2.
And whilst that might be a bit of a heartbreaker for the Spirit, you'll wear it. That's the sort of shot that, you know, if they're going to beat you shooting those shots every possession, you probably weren't supposed to win the game.
Yeah, that's right. Did everything right in that 24-second trip, except for the final moments. Inside, Davis. Good on the left hand.
Again, playing off that screen, diving the big on the rim. At the moment, that's neither team's doing a great job of guarding that, so they need to go to it more often.
Canada wants the drive on Werrung. Oh, with the cross, Canada inside. Davis was there. The block all clean, said the ref.
And you just gotta love the passion from Werrung there, who's not happy with how she defended that. You know, she got crossed, but it was an amazing cross to be able to get on the rim. But having that inside presence, that rim protection and size of Ruth Davis is huge, because if you do have those opportunities where she has slightly got by you, which she will, she's a class player, that rim protection is massive. She's been able to send that out clean, and now you can see the frustration in Canada as well, which goes a long way for you too. Takes her mind off what she's supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Nothing has come easy for Jordan Canada in the second half. Rolling, inbounds. So it's back to these two once again. Canada goes right at Davis once again. And this time she gets the whistle. 2 at the line. The foul goes on Werrung.
Yeah, that's a bit unlucky, but she's got to stay out of that, especially you've driven her into the big, which is what you want to do. You've got to make sure you stay well out of that so you're not in any position to be able to pick up that foul.
Canada makes no mistake. Majority of that production coming in the first half, really. Can she come up big in crunch time? Back to 3 points. Reed defending Kelly Wilson. Griffin. Werrung and Canada in the corner. KG23 at the top. Drives at Hillman. Good on the floater.
Just so solid. You know, you could be in absolute panic stations, and she's just such a calm head, and to be able to finish that again off 1 foot, you know, with a little bit of contact, changing direction, it's just all class.
Griffin pulls down the rebounds. It's a huge trip for the Spirit. Can they make it their biggest lead of the ball game? Werong with the rock. Griffin tried to find Davis. Canada did well. Did really well. So Melbourne basketball, Bendigo bemused. And a timeout, 5-point lead remains in the hands of the Spirit. This one brought to you by your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. This one's getting really interesting, Zoe. 2:18 on the clock.
Yeah, and that was that look that we were speaking about before, that, you know, coming off that on-ball screen, having them switch. Blitzav did an outstanding job tagging on that and coming across off her player to contest the pass and then eventually come up with the turnover. So, you know, but it's the pressure they need to be able to put on. Now that there is that focus and you are drawing that tag, now you need to fake it to the diver and hit the open player for the three. But, you know, that is all things that they'll be talking about now in the timeout, and I have no doubt they'll be looking at it in the next possession.
Absolutely. Kennedy Kariyama chatting to his team. This could be a massive result in the context of their season. Bendigo are 3-7 in 6th position. The Boomers, of course, in 3rd. 2-point win to Melbourne last time out between these two. And certainly another close finish in store. So the Boomers will have it. It's Jordan Canada who will bring us up at the boombox. Werong gets it out of her hands. Over to Reed on the wing. Nice find, and Froling has the open lane. Important basket. Boomers crowd getting involved here. Crocker. Alicia Froling has been huge. As has Werong, and the blocking foul on Gilman. Her 3rd. Second team foul. It's the 2 points today, Abby Werong, but she's had her influence in so many other facets. Canada got a hand in. Werong on the handoff, driving hard and stopped from the Boomers. 90 seconds remains. Canada. Griffin, and makes it. Just a little miscommunication between Werong and Griffin, and Canada took advantage. Ties it up, 77 apiece here. Timeout on the floor.
Just a huge play from Canada. And again, we were speaking about it before, you know, Werong has done an outstanding job on her this half, but all it takes is just one possession and she's going to be able to capitalise on that. So, you know, the defensive transition from the Spirit, they've got to find her early and then try and scramble switch back as quick as they can to get Werong back to her. But just, you know, I've said it before, she is all class.
She's been given really no space throughout the whole second half, and the moment she has just a second to look at the rim, puts down a three. It's
pro levels. It's what you need to be able to do to be able to play at this level, and obviously beyond. Is you need to be able to capitalise on every possession, because you might only get one. That might be the only free shot she has for the rest of the game, and so she's been able to sink that and then bring it back to a tie ball game.
We've come to expect from their MVP candidate, the Boomers. 1:25 on the clock. Boomers have brought it back to a tied ball game. And Bendigo will have it at the opposite baseline. Kelly Wilson will bring us up. Griffin. Woman's right there. Crocker. Into the post as KG23. Spins and fires, no good. And the Boomers with a chance to take the lead. Canada battling with Werong. Working hard off ball to retrieve it back. Hillman with the screen. Canada gets it there. And the block was considered a foul. Griffin has had 3 fouls to her name since the second quarter. I think that one has gone on Abby Werrung.
I think so. I'm not too sure. But yeah, again, it's playing or getting those feet in the paint, being able to find divers or receivers in those receiver spots and finish.
First goes down. Big trip to the line for Naz Hillman. And the Boomers will lead by 1. 50 seconds. Griffin. Huge trip for Bendigo. Ellie Wilson. Tried to get around Keely Froling, just strong. Alicia Froling there on the O-glass.
That is huge.
That is massive.
Such a big play. You know, being able, under pressure, Wilson's got to try and make something out of nothing. And there's Froling, just able to scoop it up off the glass. We spoke about it before, her effort and just a consistent effort. It is just all the time. You cannot sleep on her, or that's what she's going to produce.
That's fitting. She's been outstanding this evening. 23 to her name to go along with 12 boards. Her sister Keely leading the way along with Jordan Canada for the Boomers. Bendigo in this arm wrestle. Currently they hold the ascendancy. Boomers, of course, with the right of response. And surely this comes down to the final possession.
Yeah, I think it will, and it'll be interesting to see how Bendigo defend this. Are they going to switch everything so they've got coverage on all players? Are they going to try and just fight over and drop coverage any on-ball screen? It will be interesting to see how they play. One thing they can't do is allow Canada to just wheel and deal and find open players, because when she's given that space and that freedom, we saw what she could do with the three-point ball.
It's going to be a big part of their Bendigo huddle, I'm sure. Keeping Jordan Canada away from the rock. 33 on the clock. Ball advanced. Nearly Froling will inbound. What answer do they have here, the Boomers? Inbounds to Reed. Double screen. Froling. She's picked up her dribble, Tara Reed. Here's Keely Froling. Now it's in the hands of Jordan Canada. Hesitates, gets to her spot. Canada's just off. Hillman on the follow. Wilson was in there with the hands. Whistle from the ref. Momentary confusion from both squads.
I think there was a shot clock violation, potentially.
Buzzer expired.
Yeah.
Confirmation will come from the refs in just a moment. Canada had a great look at it. And a foul call. So here's another look at it here. Ali Wilson reaches in. I think that's where the foul call's going. It's going to be baseline ball. Shot clock still a factor. Another chance for Melbourne into Hillman. Won't go. First to it on the glass were the Spirit, and they've won it.
That's lucky from the Spirit to be able to get away with that one. That was as easy as you'll get in this situation.
Absolutely. Hillman inside the keyway would have the Spirit with some really nervous moments, but they've won it back. And they lead by a point. Timeout. The Boomers have got a foul.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how they manage it, because obviously the Spirit will be in a position to be able to try and dribble it out if they can. But if you can put them under enough pressure to be able to, you know, send some traps and speed them up, you may come up with that turnover, especially when you've got players like Jordan Canada, the way she plays. So you might try and disrupt it first and then look to foul and try and come up with it clean if you can, and then get your fast break.
Well, they should have 3 opportunities at a steal. Just been the 2 team fouls for the Boomers.
Absolutely.
And you're right, Jordan Canada may well be the best stealer of the basketball in the Cygnett WNBL.
But if you are going to foul, you're probably wanting to try and deny everybody else and allow Alicia Froling a catch and try and foul her because of her percentage tonight from the foul line. So, it's a part of that whole strategy in that chess game of basketball.
See how the tactics play out here. Blitzarves defending the inbounds. So they get it into Kelsey Griffin. 2 seconds comes off and the foul call assessed. 2 more to come.
Trying to convince them into an unsportsmanlike foul, I think.
Got to eke out every advantage, don't you?
Exactly.
Wilson, foul call. Haven't lost too much time, the Boomers. And this now will be interesting as they try and find their desired free throw shooter. Conti will replace Hillman.
So they'll look to switch and deny everything, I would say. They've gone smaller to be able to try and put that pressure on and also foul quickly and protect Hillman.
They get it into Wilson. She'll go to the line. Hasn't been to the stripe so far this evening. 81% free throw shooter on a career. In safe hands for the Spirit, you'd think. The first is good. This a big shot. Eight seconds is plenty of time to work with for Melbourne. And Kelly Wilson goes 2 of 2. It's got to be 3 for the Boomers. Canada. Will she let it fly? Blitzarves is there. And time has expired. The Bendigo Spirit have done it at the boombox.
What an outstanding finish, and that shot from Blitzarves actually went in.
Yeah.
If she'd got that away, that would have been devastating for the Spirit, but a massive win from them and absolutely deserved. They came from behind and it looked like it might break out a little bit, but they locked down defensively, found their way on the O, and were able to start sinking it from the 3-point line, so outstanding work from them.
3-point victory to the Spirit. And they tie up the season series between these two and improve to 4-7. Such an impressive performance from the roadside here. They were valiant throughout and defended that final possession really well.
Yeah, and just being able to get hands to everything and to do it clean. That's also really important, because in situations like that, we've seen people foul the 3-point shooter, and it absolutely kills every coach that's either in the game or watching. So to be able to do that clean was just an outstanding effort.
Well, 44 points in the paint as a team for the Bendigo Spirit, and Alicia Froling was one of the key reasons why our player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what she did, the way she battled inside, nothing came easy to her really either. Like, even the things she made look easy were still tough. But she's diving on the rim, she's finishing both sides of her body, she's getting to the foul line. But also at the other end, she changed shots, she got her hands to, got some deflections and was able to make things difficult. She battled with the bigs that, Melbourne were able to just continue to cycle through, and she was just physical and a real presence throughout the whole game, so absolutely deserved for her.
This was the moment that turned out to be the game winner, fitting. Alicia Froling getting it done, 23-12, 6 offensive boards, powering the Spirit to their 4th victory of the season. Your full match highlights as well. Kelsey Griffin had 12, Merrin Crocker was terrific. But so much of this game was really competed on the O-glass. Canada, of course, was instrumental, as she always is, Zoe.
Yeah, she just, I said it probably a dozen times throughout the broadcast. She is just class. The way she's able to operate off pick and roll, you see there finding the diver and being able to thread the pass through, but also finish on the pull-up jumper herself or catch and shoot the three. She is just an absolute class player, and again, to have her in our league is just really, really exciting and a real credit to the league. But on the other side of that, got to give a massive shout out to Abby Werung and the work she did on Canada in the second half. Great players like Canada are still going to score. They're still going to find a way, but she made it so difficult for her that really took the Boomers out of their offense and took them out of their flow. So it was a big part of why in that second half it really turned around for the Spirit.
Their quote-unquote bench unit, Bendigo, were outstanding. As you mentioned, it's who finishes the game, not who starts. But Froling, Werung and Casey Samuels all coming off the bench. 33 points combining for. They were awesome. And here are your match stats. And not much separating these two, really, in all columns, Zoe. Such a close affair. And
you look at the three-point percentage from the Spirit that was at like 15%, I think, for the first half. So really were able to turn that around because they went high percentage, watched the ball go through the net, and it then relaxed them to the point where they were able to knock down the three. And obviously Ali Wilson, a big part of that, turning that around, hitting about 2 or 3 of them in that third quarter.
The Froling sisters had themselves a duel. Keely had 16 to lead the way for Melbourne, along with Canada. Blitzarves was active as she always is. But in the end, it was the Spirit who got the job done here. Your matinee of your Saturday night doubleheader of the Cygnett WNBL. Stick around. We've got one more big game to come here this evening. And throughout round 9 as well, we'll look at the fixture as the Spirit all smiles here in Melbourne before they make the trip back up the highway. And of course, New Year's Eve hoops as well in Townsville, kicking off at 7 p.m. local time. But very shortly, the Flyers and the Lightning will do battle. That's going to be good, Zoe.
Yeah, Adelaide is such an exciting young team, and you could get anything from them from, at any time and in any game. But Southside as well, full of experience, full of, highly skilled players. So it'll be a great battle and two completely different ball games and playing styles. So it'll be great to see.
It will be. This has been a terrific evening so far. The Spirit get the job done here in Parkfield by 3 points. Liam Ellison and Zoe Carr with you on the call. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time for the Cygnett WNBL.